What's up, everybody? It's your boys Gin and Juice back at it again, and today we're doing a SGC slab reveal. I graded some cards through Slab Stock. Today we're going to be talking with Aaron, and he's going to be going over some stuff. So without further ado, Aaron, how are you doing, buddy?
Good. How about you? Thanks so much for having me, guys. Really appreciate it, and pretty excited about your reveal here.
Buddy, I'm super pumped. This is the first time I've done a major submission. I did a little bit with one of my other buddies not too long ago, but nothing to this level, so I'm super pumped.
Ooh, I'm kind of excited to see what you got graded.
Here we go. The first one up, we have the Luca Doncic Luminance 9/5 rookie card. Funny enough, the reason why I got this one graded because we have a Discord, and in the Discord we do giveaways. So this is part of a giveaway in our Discord.
Ooh.
Graded slabs. I try to do graded slabs, but shout out to our Lootbox Discord and everybody in there. If you guys are interested, make sure you guys click on the link below. But yeah, this will be a giveaway actually for the month of November in the Discord. So that's why I got that graded through SGC, so I can get it back in a timely manner and so forth. One thing I noticed with SGC, it's pretty quick turnaround time.
Yeah, super fast.
And why is that, you think?
Well, I think they built their staff up. They built their operation, made it extremely efficient too. I remember talking to the team over there, and they've been working a lot on building efficiencies into their, kind of the operational line. And it's been a huge switch. And I remember back grading at SGC when it was 10 days and then 7 days, then 6 days. And now I just sent in our 10:30 submission and it got received yesterday on 11/2, graded today on 11/3. I'm sure it'll be shipping out tomorrow.
Wow.
That is insane. And I graded all these cards with you. I think I paid $18.
Yep. And it's $18 a card right now. And there's no upcharges on any card from the year 2001 or later. So every card you graded, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, it's all $18 for sure.
Yep.
And we actually haven't had one upcharge yet either. So I say, 2001 or later, we've had Jim Brown rookies come through. We've had Wayne Gretzky, OPG rookies come through. 55 Hank Aaron's, 56 Jackie's, like a bunch of really nice vintage. None of it's been upcharged. $18 back. Before it was like $23 a card, but now $18 a card. Have not gotten upcharged on a single card yet.
Wow, that's phenomenal. So recently, and this is my Dwayne Wade on-card auto. I absolutely love this card. This is staying in the personal collection. I typically don't collect a lot of SGC slabs, but I'm starting to open up a little bit. I got a few LaMelos. Basketball is my favorite sport, so I'm definitely going to keep this in the collection. This card is just beautiful. I was hoping for, don't they have like the gold label?
Yep. So check this out. This is great. So pristine gold label is like the top grade you can get with SGC. In the past, we've done some personal submissions like dating back like a year ago or 6 months ago where we've maybe gotten like 3 pristine gold labels. But since we started the public group submission since August, we've submitted 6,000 plus cards and not one pristine gold label of all 6,000.
Wow.
It's tough to get. It is very, very tough to get. And if you do get pristine gold label, you really do know that this is like basically the top card that has walked through there for that card, or any card really for that matter.
That's absolutely insane. And I know with Beckett, and we were just talking about Beckett a little bit off screen, Beckett has the black label, and that, that type of chase is always interesting to have that population of that card being that particular grade is so rare.
Yeah.
And with Beckett's fall a little bit, because they seem like they dropped a lot. Do you think that would be something that people might go after a little bit more now with SGC, try to get that gold label?
Yeah, so I think the thing with SGC, it's like, hey, if you get a pristine gold label, you're going to get a lot of value out of that card, and you're going to be extremely happy with the grade. It's extremely hard to get. However, I don't think that people are submitting to SGC to say, let me try to get a pristine gold label. I think if it happens, amazing, like you've got an amazing condition card. I think over the past, 3 years with Beckett, so many people were falling into the trap of, hey, I want to try to get a black label. I want to try to get a pristine 10 through them, which a pristine 10s are obviously more available to get with it not needing all 4 subgrades being a BGS 10. But the black label chase kind of created this false perception to like pay up for that and wait longer, and like I just think that is pretty gimmicky with SGC. I don't think anyone grading through us is like, I'm going for a pristine 10. It's cool if you get it, no doubt. And no one's gotten it yet, but the value is there regardless. If you get the 10 gem mint like you've got right now, the 9.5 is a huge boost as well. There's a value range in between here between like nines, if you get an SGC 9, depends on the card you got, obviously how tough it is to grade, but generally like with that Tua, you know, you're kind of expecting to get back, you know, basically what it is raw. But given you have this ability to get a 9.5, you know, you don't absolutely need the 10 to like find profit in a card. Like getting a 10 is nice, obviously you make more money and it's more valuable, but like having that space in between is great to get a 9.5. And as Peter and the SGC team has talked about, they don't think it's as easy as just saying it's a 9 or a 10. There's a lot of little things along the way in a card that can either keep it from a 10, or not all 9s really are, you know, 9s. Like let's just say PSA in reference, like they could be like a 9.5 like this is.
Yeah. And just to clarify a little bit, just talking a little bit about some of the cards I have here. This is going to be another giveaway for the Discord. If Tua remains pretty good, I don't want a card, you know, to be a giveaway if unfortunately he's not going to be able to play football, right? Health first, but hopefully that's going to be in the giveaway pile there. And then I had the Luca Doncic here, like you said, the Gem Mint 10. It's funny you talked a little bit about profit. Some of these cards that I have, I am looking to potentially move. Now, I'm not one of those big guys that constantly work in the sense of flipping cards and so forth. I get why they do it and whatnot, but these particular cards I did have in my collection. But for something like this, for example, what I'm going to utilize these funds for is going to be put back into the channel. So any card that I have here, basically we're going to be putting them up on eBay, giving everybody a little bit better deal than what they would be as PSA 10s. And you know, obviously there's a little bit of drop from a PSA 10 to SGC 10 naturally, but we're going to make sure people get some good deals and some good cards and have fun with it.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to the PSA 10 versus SGC 10 valuation, like as you mentioned, like you can look up sales data and a lot of like the cards like that Luca Revolution, you know, it's a base card, it's a little bit higher population, like you can see a difference in value. But if it's like that Dwayne Wade and stuff like that, where it's more rare and it's harder to find and collectors really want to get it and they understand that Gem Mint 10 from SGC is a quality grade because it is, and the grading is extremely consistent, that's where you start to see these prices get way closer in the cards where people are, you know, a little bit more excited to get their hands on. Maybe like I got De Bruyne gold refractor auto 50 here, 9.510.
Ooh, that is a beautiful card.
It's pretty nice. It's nice. I got the Vegas card show.
Now, it's funny you bring that up. So one of the things, like those unique cards, one of those things that Beckett did have, Beckett had the ability, you grade thick cards. What are your thoughts about grading thick cards with SGC? I personally don't have any thick cards in this case, but I was thinking, you know, I was going through my collection. I'm like, all right, is it time now to try SGC? One of the things I liked about Beckett is the subgrades. So talk a little bit about your thoughts on SGC and thick cards.
Yeah, so I actually also happen to have one next to me here. It's a Chris Middleton. It's an impeccable on-card auto. So this one, I'm going to hold it up here. You can see it right there. It is a thicker slab. And on the back, it almost has like an outline. It's like a well that like sits in behind it. So I have been doing some thick card grading with them, as do a lot of people. Now, the thing right now about SGC and thick cards is that there's a certain point to where the cards just get too thick for their holders as they are. And I know that they're in development right now of building holders to fit every single card, every single size, every single thickness. But there are some cards that just can't get graded, like a 360 point like cleat card. It can't get slabbed right now by SGC. I know they want to get to the point where they can do it all and they're going to do it all. But yeah, so I mean, I like it a lot. A lot of people send in RPAs. They like the 9s with the 10 autos or the 9.5s with the 10 autos through SGC for sure.
I'd like a company to grade those books without having to like BGS, where the book's like in the middle and then the thing is like almost as big as like a sheet of paper.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit more difficult, obviously, like grade the booklets, but I would also like that. I mean, in my standpoint, like booklets, like I would way rather just have it in one of them display magnetic
cases. Yep.
Yeah, to where like it looks good. You know, that's nice.
This is a pretty cool card. UFC, I love watching UFC. I'm getting into the understanding the sport and learning as much as I possibly can about it. And it's a little passion of ours and our little friend group that we have. Drew and I go over our buddy's house all the time and watch all the fights. It's really fun. And I'm getting into it. SGC, one of the things I do like about it is for certain cards, the tuxedo look really makes a card pop. And in this case, I really like the way this gold sits into this actual slab and the way
black
it looks.
Outline. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're gonna bring that up because I feel the exact same way. Like there's certain cards, and then this last card I had sitting here is a Holland gold, also same reason. Like I also feel like having the gold where it's got the color really standing out on the card, and everything like that with the black background, it looks extremely good. Some of the darker cards, let's say like an obsidian card, sometimes it just doesn't pop enough for me, like that. But a lot of them do, and especially the vintage too. Like when it comes to vintage, SGC gets insane volumes in the vintage card space. Because when you do get those colorful vintage cards with the borders, the nice paper borders up against the black background, they just look so good.
I agree. And this another topic of conversation that I just noticed, because with Beckett and PSA, you have to select it. One thing I noticed about SGC, they do it for you automatically, and that's grading the autos. I noticed because I did not select any of these autos to be graded. But they graded this auto at 10 because it looked great, and they could tell that this was off the sticker, I assume. And they're like, hey, we're not going to grade that auto.
Exactly.
So that's kind of nice.
It is. It's a lot of people really like that, especially because, first of all, the autograph grading is free, like that UFC card. You still just paid $18 a card for that. For the Saka, is exactly what it is. The autograph's off the sticker, so they don't put a 9 auto on there, or 8 or a 7 or anything like that, which is honestly like what a collector wants most of the time. Is you would like the 10 auto if you have it. If not, then just give me the card grade on it, right? And that's I really like that. I think it's a huge plus.
So now that you've opened and done a lot of public grading, have you seen the consistency? Have you noticed that they are a lot more consistent? You don't get too many random cards where you looked at it before and you said, okay, it should be like a 9, 9.5, and then it comes back like a 6 or a 7, and you're just kind of like, what?
Right. That's a nice Cade there. First of all, Cade red 10. Nice card. As for the consistency deal, so for us, we actually see so much volume that we don't clean, wipe down people's cards or look at them and evaluate them for people. We just get them together, send them off, $18 a card, provide the biggest discount that people can get on submissions, and return them back in a timely manner. We're turning these submissions around as quickly as we can. But in terms of the consistency, it's like I do look at some cards when they come back. Like let's just say I get a modern card back and it's a 5. I'm like looking at this thing trying to be like, why is this a 5? Right? A lot of the time I can tell there's a crease in the back that someone missed, stuff like that. And like I do look at the slabs as they come back and can get a feeling on that. But from all my personal experience, the consistency is very key. What I see in one card from a set, I see in another card from a set, which is good to see a lot of the time. I mean, I think a lot of people's maybe their displeasure with some different grading services and everything is like you look at a card and you think it's a 10, but then it gets an 8, and I've experienced that too in the past. And then you send it back a second time or something, it gets a 9 or another 10, whatever it is. Like there's just wild across the board. But from what I've been able to tell, been grading with SGC for a year straight now, like on a personal level, and then along with these submissions recently, it's all been very consistent. The first submission I actually ever did with SGC was after the 2019 National. Sent them a group of hockey and soccer cards way back when, just to see how they graded, and I was very happy with the service, the product, all that stuff. 3 years ago, no one was grading modern with SGC, so the values, of course, were not really pulling as much as at the time I would have liked. But in 3 years' time, I mean, they made up incredible ground.
Yes,
sales values are very strong now with the amount of collectors grading with them. They're very collector focused. They try to do every single thing they can to help out people, like with the no upcharges based on the value, free auto grades, all that stuff. Obviously, the turnaround times too. So it's just great to see how their business has progressed.
The turnaround times are absolutely unbelievable. And you and your team have created a nice website, simple process. I was able to upload these 15 cards without doing the sheet. I was reading the you have like this checklist of top 10 things or most asked questions. And I was like, okay, let me make sure I do this. And I went through, I cleaned my own cards. I packaged up my own cards. You guys made it simple and easy. It was a digital form. You guys, all you did was, I assume, just took the packing label and just pushed it forward, right? The process was easy on my end.
I'm happy to hear that. We've gotten a lot of great feedback on that, both from the submission, like when you place your order, and also communication throughout. So slabstocks.com/grading is our website where people place orders. It really is a 2-page web form order process. It's extremely fast. You just put in the cards you have and then you pay, and that's it. You print off the packing slip, put in the package, and we receive them. We verify the cards that you sent are actually what you wrote down, so we know whose cards are whose. And then when we get those, everyone gets an email notification that your package has been verified. come the 15th or the 30th, because we send out submissions twice a month, you get another email that ships to SGC, and every process of the way people know where it is in the order, just as you would if you were submitting to SGC directly, but we'll get you the big discount along with that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, this is one of the rare cards that I had, this gold power prism from Panini Prism Soccer, the Premier League, out of 5, Tommy Doyle, Manchester City. I'm a United fan myself, but this team is a juggernaut right now, especially with Holland playing. Holy smokes. This is fun. This is a rare card to get back. Now, obviously, to find comps on some of these cards are absolutely insane, but this is one of a card I've been sitting on for a while that I decided to finally get graded.
It's a cool one, no doubt. I remember seeing that when you sent it in, and I noticed it right away. I mean, any gold power, gold vinyl numbered out of 5, especially soccer, for me, it's very, very intriguing.
Yeah, and then we have this Cam Akers. Cam Akers came back from was it an ACL injury, I believe?
Achilles.
Or was it Achilles? Achilles, there it is. And he came back late last season. I haven't watched too many Rams games because I've been so fascinated with my Eagles just dominating the sport of football recently. This is out of 22, nice little cracked ice rookie ticket. This is one of those cards that sit in the slab and look good, looks really good, and the focus is 100% on the card. The way the lighting hits it, I know it might be a little bit difficult on this camera, but in person, just with the black and then the focus, your eyes automatically go to the card. It just looks really nice, very clean.
Yeah, I love it.
And that's one of the cards they graded the auto a 10.
Exactly.
And I think they helped out the value of the card too, because I guess it got a 9. I was interested, or that was interesting when I saw that one. Here's another one, the Luca rookie, rated rookie, Donruss Optic. It got a 10. Not bad. I like this a lot. Now, I noticed this is one of the cards, basically PSA 10, I think, sells for like $130. SGC sold for $100. So that's that. It's not far off, but SGC 10 versus a PSA 10, you kind of talked about it a little bit. In this scenario, it's a Donruss card. It's not a higher end card. It's a very common card. To me, the SGC looks better. I
like it. I like it a lot. But the thing here is that you mentioned, like a $30 difference in the price on that versus PSA 10. There's a very good chance that if you sent that card into PSA at the exact same time you sent it into us for grading the SGC, that by the time you even get it back from PSA, even if you get a 10, it's going to be worth like $100 or less by that point. Just with how fast the market changes, like to have cards gone for 2 to 3 months at a time. I'm sure people realize that when cards were gone for 12 months at the time. When you send it in, it's not exactly what you think when you get it back. And the fact that you got that back, I think within 14, 15 days, all the way around trip between coming to us, going to SGC and back to you, and you can get that thing out the door fast.
I think it was less than 15 days. It was like 13 days total, I think it was.
Yeah, it all depends on when you were to ship your package. So if you ship it to us right after we send out a submission, it'll take a little bit longer because more days until next submission goes out. But if it arrives to us the day before submission goes out, I think it's about 2 weeks door to door that it would be in total to do it.
It was not bad at all. Good experience. Nice. Wayne Rooney, auto. Wayne Rooney is one of my favorite soccer players of all time. I just love playing FIFA. I forget the year though, but the announcer would always go, Wayne Rooney, at the top of his lungs. And it was just the coolest thing in the world. And obviously I was mimicking it all the time. But
that's awesome. I love it.
This card just brings back some memories. I love
those are the best cards though. I mean, that's why I love collecting. I have so many cards in my collection. It reminds me of a certain point in my life, just as you brought up. It's great. It's just like music.
This card right here, and there's another card that looks absolutely phenomenal.
Wow. You sent that there, huh?
I did. Because, the funny thing here, we tried to get this submitted to PSA and they didn't have it in the system. And one thing that I noticed, I have no idea. One thing that I noticed with SGC, it allowed us to basically, I typed this out and they confirm, I assume they verify it and so forth before they make the label.
Yeah.
But I was able to submit it. They were able to find it. It was no hiccups at all. Pretty smooth process. One thing with PSA, if it's not in the system, they don't allow you to submit anything. No hand submissions or anything. I know Beckett did allow you to do that, but I know PSA did not.
Well, you can actually, but it does take longer because they have to verify it. So I have an order sitting there that has had to have some verified, and it's still now just got into like grading, and it's definitely been there a lot longer than my other recent submissions that we've gotten back and opened. So it's kind of weird.
Interesting.
The last card I saved is of my boy Tyrese Maxey, and it is this blue velocity, another card that just absolutely pops. And this man had been dropping some points. I think he had already a 40-point game and 10 assists, something along that, already at the start of the season. Pretty dope card here. Another card I really like in this slab. But yeah, that's gonna round off my submission. Not bad. Got a lot of cool cards here. A couple cards I'm gonna keep in the PC. I'm debating or not the Tyrese Maxey for sure. I got a couple giveaway cards for the Discord, but I mean, this was a great submission. I'm definitely going to package up some more and send off your way.
Love it. Thank you. Appreciate that a lot. I'm glad you had a good experience.
So tell us a little bit of how you started and what you guys are currently doing and your goal. What's the goal of Slabstock?
Yeah, great question. So Slabstocks, I started back when I was a sophomore in college, now 4+ years ago. It's been a wild journey and everything like that. First started the idea, I've been collecting since I was years old, around there. And I've absolutely loved cards, but wanted to find a way to like start to kind of translate the values, right? Because I always understood, because I really enjoyed numbers. I went to school for business, all this different stuff. But it's like, there's just like a bridge that's missing between like opening up the pack and then knowing what it's worth. And social media really didn't provide any of that at the point when we started. And we were, some of the first, probably in my opinion, the first on social media was like posting charts of different cards and the prices changing, all this stuff. The idea was to create an app someday that would be able to allow you to track values of cards, just like the stock market, like a Yahoo Finance. Try to do it along the way. Hit some hiccups, is very difficult, is a good process, a big learning process, but in the end ended up instead partnering with Card Lighter, because they built the thing I wanted to. Like, they literally built it and provided me that resource, and provides thousands of collectors the resource to get the data. And for us, like, we love talking to collectors and we love engaging in discussions. So now really the mission is not only making sports cards accessible as like an actual object, either through helping you grade it or maybe through ripping some packs and whatnot, whatever, but really through like making sports card information accessible. So between running our Instagram page, running the daily newsletter called the Daily Slab, which everyone can sign up for on slabstocks.com, goes out every single day for the last 4 years. It's just loaded with sports card market movement and hobby information that we write every single day. It's a great time sometimes, but no, it's really fun, and a lot of people find a lot of value with it. We're just trying to take the, help progress the market forward and build good discussions that people want to engage in because they're collectors or they like buying and selling. Like, we're really a page for everyone. We want to welcome everyone in the hobby with open arms and help build it with other people like you out there, which is great to see. The content space has exploded in the last 4 years in sports cards, and a lot of people are doing a lot of really, really cool things. So we're happy people have joined along, and then we're just going to keep doing our thing, hopefully, and see where it goes. But yeah, obviously it's trying to find, as many things as we can do to help out the hobby as possible.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Nice.
I personally, I talked to you a little bit about it, but like for us, when we do our Tuesday live streams, we use a lot of your stats and items that you guys push. I follow you guys. I get my news from you basically. Anytime anything is trending or whatever it may be, pricings on cards, I check with you guys because you guys are always on top of it, which is fantastic. That's a good piece of literature, a good piece of information for us to reference here in the hobby, because it's so difficult to find a lot of this information out there. And for someone like yourself and your team, you guys putting it together and making it easy, and all the information you guys put out, I mean, it's super, convenient for everyone, and I appreciate it. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for saying that. And that's, that's the goal. It's like, we know that not everyone can sit there and study the sales data or look at how the cards are transacting versus the sports are happening on the field or wherever, on the court, whatever. And we try to bring all that together so that someone who does have 20 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day can read all 3 Instagram posts, can read the daily newsletter, can listen to a 5-minute podcast that Nate puts out every morning for us, and understand what happened the last day, right? Like, really all it takes is 30 minutes of someone's day to follow what we do. And you can pretty much learn as much information as I'm knowing. Well, I mean, I know I'm seeing a lot more, but like, people can learn a lot very quick.
100%. Everybody down below as a pinned comment, we're going to link their YouTube channel, their Instagram, and their website. Make sure you guys check them all out. They're fantastic. Aaron, thank you so much. Slabstock is phenomenal. Make sure you guys again check them out. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.